morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Tuesday the 15th of September. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks here. Slightly bullish start to the day after yesterday's late recovery. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 10,574 to support a run at the first major resistance level that's sitting at 10,889. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally, however, for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high 10,773. We expect plenty of resistance at 10,800 to pin Bitcoin back. So barring extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got resistance at 11,000 and the second major resistance level sitting at 11,098 to capture any upside. Fall through the pivot, bring the first major support level sitting at 10,375 into play. Buying extended sell-off on the day should see Bitcoin steer well clear of the second major support level at 10,060. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms and a possible bearish crossover there, suggestive of a possible pullback through the morning. Looking at the EMA, however, we saw that bullish crossover through the 50 through the 200 and a widening from the 200 and the 100, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. So key through the morning would be to avoid the pivot level at 10,574, break through to 10,800 levels to then target the major resistance levels at 11,000. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see EOS move back through the pivot at 2.7312 to then target the first major resistance level, so at 2.7758. Going to need to see broad-based crypto rally for EOS to break out from yesterday's high. There was a 2.7742. So buying an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level in yesterday's high to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see EOS revisit 2.8 levels. Second major resistance level at 2.8188 should cap any upside, however. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 2.6882 into play. Should see EOS continue to avoid sub 2.6s, however. Second major support level sitting at 2.6436 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a bearish crossover there at the start of the day supporting the early pullback. And we're seeing the 50 pull back from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bearish day ahead. So failure to move through the pivot at 2.7312 would bring sub 2.7s and that first major support level into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, mixed start to the day with Ethereum pulling back into the red. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall through the pivot at 372.52 to support a run at the first major resistance level that's sitting at 389.37. Going to need to see extended rally on the day for Ethereum to break out from yesterday's high, however, at 384.61. So barring an extended rally through the day, expect resistance at 385 to leave Ethereum short. In the event of a breakout, got resistance at 400 and the second major resistance level at 401.47 to cap any upside. Fall through the pivot would bring the 38.2% fib at 367 and the first major support level sitting at 360.42 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, should see Ethereum avoid sub 360s, however. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms and the possible bearish crossover there, so going to need to keep an eye on the MACDs. Looking at the EMAs, however, we're seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200 and a possible break through the 100 through the 200, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. So avoiding a fall through that pivot and a move back through to 380s would then bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, Mixed start to the day, holding on to positive territory at the moment. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.2444 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 0.2497. Going to need to see extended rally on the day for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high, 0.24837. So barring an extended rally, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 0.25 to limit any upside. The event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 0.2537 and resistance at 0.255 to cap any upside. Fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2403 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, should see Ripple's XRP avoid sub 0.24s. Looking at the MACD, we're seeing a bearish crossover and a bearish histogram formation there, suggestive of a bearish morning. Looking at the EMAs, however, we're seeing a slight pull away of the 50 from the 100 and a narrowing to the 200, supportive of this early upside. So key through the early part of the day would be to avoid that pivot level and to move back through yesterday's high to then support a run at the first major resistance level and 0.25 levels.